Okay, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be working on evaluating expressions. So our focus for this lesson is to be able to evaluate expressions for given values of the variables and write and evaluate expressions that represent real-world problems, okay? So here are some vocabulary. The expressions below contain letters or variables, and a variable represents an unknown number. So we've talked about variables before, and you know that it's literally just a letter and it's representing some number, okay? To evaluate an expression, you have to substitute a value for the variable and then use the order of operations to simplify. So we're going to look at some examples here. So for this example, we have m minus 4 7/10. And it says for m equals 10. Well, don't let it confuse you. It's as simple as saying, okay, they're telling me that m equals 10, so now I'm going to put that 10 there instead of the m, okay? And then I have 10 minus 4 7/10. So then step 2 is to use the order of operations to simplify the expression, and you get the first step. So 5 3/10 should be your answer, okay? So let's look at another example. 5 divided by x for x equals 1/3. Okay, so again, you're going to take the value and put it where the variable is. So now for step 1, you have 5 divided by 1/3. Remember that when you divide with fractions, you have to keep change flip. So our step 2 is going to be 5 times 3 over 1, which is 5 times 3, which is 15. Okay, so now I'm going to have you try one on your own. I want you to look at this. I want you to pause the video and work it and then come back to the video. Okay, so step 1 should look like this. You should have taken the 3 and put it where the n was. So then you get 5 plus 3 times 4. Order of operations tells me I have to multiply the 3 times the 4 first and then add the 5. So you should have gotten 17. If you did a good job, pat yourself on the back. Nice job. Okay, so little break in between. Would you rather be a tiny rhino or a giant hamster? So depending on your answer, I want you to pause the video again and do whichever activity you've chosen. Okay, next example. 1/5 times x for x is equal to 15. Okay, pause the video and solve the equation. Sorry, expression. Okay, step 1, you should have 1/5 times 15. Step 2, you should have ended up with 3. Okay, this one has a few more steps to it, parts in the expression, but you do the exact same thing. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video and solve this expression. Hey, for step 1, you should have gotten 7 5/10 times 3 5/10 minus 2 5/10. We know we have to do the parentheses first. So if you did 3 5/10 minus 2 5/10, you should have gotten 1, 7.5 or 7 5/10 times 1 is 7 5/10. Okay, here's another would you rather. Would you rather have your hand stuck in a jar or have your head stuck in a bucket? So pause the video, do the correct activity with your would you rather, and then come back to me. Okay, next example, 48 divided by the difference of z and 6. Okay, so we're going to put that 14 in there instead of z, and then solve. So pause the video, solve the expression. Okay, so you should have put that 14 in there. So now you have 48 divided by the difference of 14 and 6. And that answer should have given you 4. Hey, another would you rather? Would you rather jump into a pool of marshmallows or jump into a pool of Jell-O? Make your choice. Look at the activity you need to do and pause the video and complete it. Okay, next example. 10 times the sum of 5/100 plus q. Okay, I want you to practice reading it that way so that you're remembering how to put it into words. So 10 times the sum of 5/100ths plus q. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video and solve this expression. Okay, this is what it should look like. Okay, because q is 1 2/10, so you should have added those together first and then multiplied by 10. So you should have gotten 12 5/10. Excuse me. Okay, would you rather be able to fly or be invisible? That's a kind of a hard one. Okay, so here are the choices. Go ahead and pause the video and complete your activity. Okay, next example. 2 3/4 plus d minus 1 1/4 plus 5 1/2 for d equals 1 1/2. Okay, again, don't freak out. Put the variable in there, use order of operations, and do one step at a time. Pause the video and complete this expression. Okay, so this is what it should look like. So you're going to start working from left to right because this is addition and subtraction and they're both on the same level of order of operations, but you always work them left to right. So you would do 2 3/4 plus 1 1/2. Okay, and then you'll take that sum and subtract 1 1/4, and then take that difference and add 5 1/2. That should have given you 8 1/2. So if you got that one right, I want you to stand up and do a celebration dance because that's really good. Make sure you pause the video though, because I don't want you to miss anything. Okay. All right. So now we are going to do some real world problems. So word problems basically, but how do I use this in real life? That's what we're looking at. So 4 friends earn $24 by washing cars and $M by mowing lawns. They want to divide the total equally. Okay, so that's our word problem. Let's see if I can. Well, I was going to try to circle, but I don't know if I can. I don't know how to use it on this one, so I'll have to figure it out later. Okay, so anyway, so 4 friends earn $24 by washing cars and $M by mowing lawns. They want to divide the total equally. So total tells me I'm going to be adding some numbers. Well, in my brain, I see where the and is right here. See, I have a laser pointer. That's cool. Anyway, the and is right here, which tells me I need to add. So I'm going to add this 24 and the $M together. But then it says that I want to divide the total equally. So that means I'm going to have to take those and divide it by how many friends I have. So your expression should look like this. So it is 24, so it's the sum of 24 and M divided by 4. Okay? So then if you plug in the value, that 50 goes here for the M, and you simplify the expression or solve the expression, then you get this. Okay, you should have gotten, it should be $18.50 when you do those things because it's 74 divided by 4. And remember, when you're dealing with money, you have to add zeros after the decimal and keep going until you finish. Okay? All right, let's look at the next one. We're going to do this one together too. So there are 2/3 as many students in science club as in math club. So remember, 2/3, when it says as many, that's the same as like of, which is the same as multiplied. Okay? So if there are M students in math club, excuse me, how many are in science club? Well, I know that this says as many, so I know I'm going to multiply 2/3 times M. So my expression is going to be 2/3 times M. Okay, so now part B says if there are 27 students in math club, how many are in science club? So I'm going to take that 27 and put it in place of M. So now I have 2/3 times 27. Remember, you can simplify, excuse me, because 3 goes into 27. And so that would be 2 times 9, right? So you should get the answer of 18 students. Okay, so now I want you to pause the video and do 15 A, B, and C, and then come back and I'll go through it with you. Okay, Kim's cat weighs 6 pounds more than her rabbit. More than tells me I need to subtract. Okay. Her dog, I'm sorry, add. I don't know why I said subtract. Don't listen to me there. I haven't had much Diet Coke today, guys. Okay, her dog weighs 3 times as much as her cat. Let R be the weight of Kim's rabbit. Okay, so we know that R is the rabbit. Okay, so how much does her cat weigh? Well, I'm going to go back to the problem, and it says Kim's cat weighs 6 pounds more than her rabbit. Okay, so it's the rabbit plus 6. So that, excuse me, expression would be R plus 6. And then it says, how much does her dog weigh? Well, her dog weighs 3 times as much as her cat. So I'm going to have to take how much her cat weighs times 3. So that would be 3 times the sum of R and 6. Okay, so if Kim's rabbit weighs 5 pounds, how much do her cat and dog weigh? So now we're going to solve both of these expressions. So we're going to put that 5 pounds up here. So that would be 5 plus 6, and that equals 11. So the cat weighs 11 pounds. And so we know that this is 11. So 3 times 11 is 33. So the cat weighs 11 pounds. Sorry, there's a typo there. The cat weighs 11 pounds, and the dog weighs 33. Okay? Excuse me. All right, so now I want you to pause the video again, and I want you to complete number 16 on your own. Okay, let's look at number 16. To change a temperature from degrees Celsius to degrees Fahrenheit, oh, looky there, a little bit of science mixed in with our math. Multiply it by 9/5 and then add 32. Okay, so if C is the temperature in degrees Celsius, we're going to write an expression for changing C to degrees Fahrenheit. So it told me that I'm going to multiply by 9/5 and then add 32. So my expression would be C times 9/5 plus 32. Okay? So then I'm going to plug in the value of 20 to C. Okay? So then I'm going to have 9/5 times 20, which I'm going to do first, because in order of operations, you do multiplication and division before you do addition and subtraction. So you're going to do that multiplication and then add your 32. So you would get 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay?